Okay, so let's set the scene. The year is 2025. And when you hear a date that close to our own in science fiction, your mind immediately goes to flying cars, maybe some neon-drenched cyber cities.
Sure, the usual stuff. Dystopian megacorporations, sleek technology.
Exactly. But that is not where we are dropping in today. The setting we're about to explore is, well, it's something else entirely. It's a desolate, post-apocalyptic landscape known simply as the Badlands.
And that name tells you pretty much everything you need to know, doesn't it? It's not a place of hope. Civilization as we knew it has basically crumbled. It's gone.
It's dust, and what's left behind is this jagged, unforgiving world. The source material paints such a vivid picture of it. The sky is this permanent bruised mix of orange and gray.
It's a setting that it immediately establishes the stakes. It does it before you even meet a single character. You just know, looking at that landscape, that this is not a place of comfort. This is about
Right.
primal survival.
Right, the rules of society are just gone, suspended. And it's in this absolute pressure cooker of a world that we meet two characters who, by any sci-fi logic, should be trying to kill each other.
You absolutely should. On one side, you've got Maya.
A human scavenger. And the source material makes it clear she is tough as nails. She's got this deep-seated vendetta against a ruthless corporation, the kind of corporation that basically broke the world.
A classic archetype, but
Course.
done really well here. She's not just a victim. She's resourceful. She's a fighter.
And on the other side, we have Crot.
And Crot is where this story, for me, just completely flips the script on what you'd expect. He's a Yautja.
Which, to most of us, means a predator, the hunter from the movies.
Right, but he is different. The description is so specific. He has this deep, emerald-colored skin, a towering physical presence. But the most important detail isn't his strength or his tech. It's his status.
He's not there for sport.
No, he's an exile, an outcast from his own people.
So you have an outcast alien warrior and a human survivor who are forced to team up. It almost sounds like a pitch for an 80s buddy cop movie, but the source material we're digging into today, Predator, Badlands, takes this premise somewhere surprisingly emotional.
It really does. This isn't just about blasting monsters. It's fundamentally a redemption arc for both of them in different ways.
And that's really the mission for our deep dive today, isn't it? We want to explore how that relationship actually forms. We're going to be looking at how these core concepts like honor and prey completely shift when survival is the only thing that matters.
How do mortal enemies become allies? Especially when they're facing a threat that is, bigger, badder, and a whole lot scarier than either of them could handle alone.
So yeah, everyone should buckle up. We are heading straight into the Badlands. We've got mutated ecosystems to talk about, shady corporate genetic experiments, and this legendary beast that's only whispered about, a creature known as the apex predator.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so to really understand the weight of this alliance between Crot and Maya, we have to first understand the world they're stuck in.
The environment is almost a character in itself. The source material literally calls the Badlands a testament to the harsh realities of survival. It's not just a backdrop, it's an active antagonist.
It was once a thriving place, right? But now it's a battleground.
A complete battleground. And the imagery the source uses is just, it's so intense. You mentioned the jagged cliffs and the bruised sky, but it also talks about the crumbling structures of old cities that look like, well, like skeletons sticking out of the ground.
And this mutated ecosystem, I find that so fascinating. It's not that the world is dead, it's actually thriving, but in this really twisted, dangerous way.
Exactly. It's a place where if the terrain doesn't kill you, the wildlife certainly will. And that creates a very specific kind of psychological state for anyone who has to live there. You're never safe.
You are constantly being hunted by
Yeah.
something.
Whether it's the elements or the mutated fauna or even other human factions. And it's in the middle of all this chaos that we properly meet Crot. I think we need to spend some real time on his psychology because it's just fascinating.
Let's do it. So we know he has this distinct emerald skin, intricate tribal markings all over his body.
But the source material notes something really poignant about those markings. They should be a source of immense pride for a warrior of his status. But to him, they feel like chains.
Chains. Wow. That is such a heavy, loaded description. Why would he feel that way about the symbols of his own culture?
It all comes back to the reason for his exile. In Yautja culture, the hunt is everything. It's sacred. It's not just killing. It has a strict code of conduct. a liturgy almost.
And he broke the code.
He broke the code in the most fundamental way possible. He was accused of dishonor because he spared a human life during what was supposed to be a sacred hunt.
He showed mercy. And for a predator, that's the ultimate sin.
For his clan, yes. In their eyes, mercy is weakness. It's seen as an insult to the prey because you're denying them an honorable death, and it's an insult to the hunter because you're failing your purpose.
So he's haunted by this.
Constantly. The source describes it so vividly. He hears the voices of his brethren in his head, calling him shameful, calling him weak. One line that really stands out is, "A true hunter does not show mercy." So he's wandering this wasteland, completely and utterly alone, carrying the crushing weight of that judgment.
He's not just trying to survive out there, he's trying to reclaim his status, but he's doing it from this place of deep, profound shame.
Which means he's not just hunting for sport or for food, he's hunting to try and silence those voices in his head. He's driven by this primal urge to prove to himself more than anyone that he's still a warrior.
So all of his advanced technology,
Yeah.
the plasma caster, the wrist gauntlet, the cloaking device,
It's not just an arsenal. The source makes it clear that he clings to it. He treats his gear almost like relics. They're his only tangible connection to the identity and the clan that he's lost.
which brings us to a really key scene early on, the first hunt.
Yes. He's out there, he's on his own, and he feels what the source calls that whisper of a challenge in the air. He knows something is close.
And he finds this thing. The description is wild. A grotesque amalgamation of predator and prey. It has glowing eyes, elongated limbs. It sounds like a total nightmare creature.
Just a classic Badlands mutant. And Crot, he does what he does best. He engages it. He uses his cloaking device to get the advantage. He uses his raw, brute strength. It's described as a violent, visceral dance between them.
And of course he wins. He's a Yautja. He takes the creature down.
He does. He stands over the corpse of this monster. He
Okay.
should feel something, right? A thrill, a sense of accomplishment.
But that's where it gets really interesting psychologically. He wins the fight, and he
Right.
feels absolutely nothing.
Nothing. The source uses the word empty. The victory brought him zero satisfaction. And this is so crucial for you, the listener, to understand about his mindset. If honor is a social construct, if it's about validation from your peers in your clan,
Then winning a feat when you're completely alone, it doesn't fix the problem.
it doesn't even touch it. He's just going through the motions. He's ticking the boxes of what a hunter should do. But the feeling, the purpose, isn't there. He's hollow.
He's spiritually starving.
That's a perfect way to put it. And that is his emotional starting point when this story kicks off. He is a warrior without a war to fight, and even more importantly, he's a warrior without a why.
Until he meets Maya.
Until he meets Maya.
And
everything starts to change.
right. So this is the big turning point. Section 2 of our breakdown. Predator becomes protector. Crot is, doing his thing. He's stalking through the ruins, probably looking for another hollow victory.
And he comes across a group of humans. And his programming, his entire cultural upbringing should be screaming one thing at him.
Targets.
Or at best, insignificant insects. Something to be ignored or hunted for sport. But he doesn't. He stops. And he just watches them.
What does he see?
He sees them huddled around a small fire, sharing food, telling stories. And instead of seeing prey, the source says he sees resilience. And he feels this unfamiliar pang of empathy.
That same mercy that got him exiled in the first place. It's bubbling up again.
It's his core nature fighting against his conditioning. But he doesn't have long to contemplate it because that's when the situation it explodes.
Literally.
Enter the behemoth.
And we need to be clear here. This isn't just another random mutant that crawled out of a radioactive swamp.
No, this is different. This is a genetically engineered monster. It was created by that same corporation that Maya has a vendetta against. This is important.
So the Badlands aren't just the result of natural decay or, like, a nuclear war. It's a product of corporate meddling, corporate greed.
That's a huge underlying theme. This corporation, they didn't just pollute the world. They actively unleashed these monstrosities on what was left of humanity. For Maya, this behemoth isn't just a monster. It's a symbol of everything that was taken from her. It's artificial, manufactured chaos.
So this thing attacks the humans' camp. The source describes the chaos. Their fire is extinguished. They're screaming. They're panicking. They're about to be torn apart.
And Crot has a choice to make. He could just walk away.
Yeah.
Hit his cloaking device and watch the show. It has nothing to do with him.
But he doesn't. And this is the pivot for his entire character arc.
Oh.
He intervenes, he jumps in, and he fights this behemoth.
But the crucial difference is his motivation. He's not fighting for the thrill of the kill this time. He's not fighting to prove he's still a hunter. He's fighting to protect these helpless humans.
That fundamental shift from predator to protector, that has to feel completely different for him on a spiritual level.
It changes everything. The source describes the battle as this fierce symphony of survival. And when he finally defeats the behemoth, he has this moment of revelation. He realizes that saving those lives, it healed his own spiritual wounds in a way that the solitary hunt never could.
It filled that emptiness we were just talking about.
For the first time, maybe in years, he felt a sense of purpose, a real one.
Which leads us to the aftermath. The dust settles, and you have this incredible image, this towering emerald-skinned alien warrior standing over the corpse of a monster, and then there's Maya, this small but fierce human woman just staring him down.
The tension must have been absolutely palpable, because she doesn't know what to make of this. And she says something that really defines the mindset of a survivor in the Badlands. She says, "We aren't used to help."
No one does anything for free in this world.
Exactly. Everything has a price. And Crot, showing a surprising amount of, well, emotional intelligence, he basically acknowledges that. He admits that trust has to be earned. He doesn't expect them to just welcome him with open arms.
I love that line from the source material where Maya has this internal realization. She looks at him, this alien hunter, and thinks, perhaps we are all predators in our own ways.
It's such a brilliant line because it completely levels the playing field. It breaks down the binary of human versus monster. In this world, everyone has to be a predator to some degree just to survive.
It establishes this grudging mutual respect. They might be different species from different worlds, but they recognize that warrior's heart, as the source calls it, in each other.
And that recognition is the foundation for everything that comes next. It's what leads them to seek shelter together, to actually try and form an alliance.
Which brings us to Section 3, the bunker and the bond. They can't stay out in the open, it's too dangerous, so they find and move into an abandoned bunker.
And you should think of this bunker as more than just a shelter. It's like a time capsule. The source describes it as having, old canned goods on the shelves, dust motes floating in the beams of light. It's a remnant of the old world that failed.
But now it's becoming the forge for this new, unlikely alliance.
It is, and what's great about this section is how everyone finds a role. Crot isn't just, sitting in a corner polishing his trophies. He's actively helping. He's using his advanced alien technology to reinforce this old, crumbling human structure.
Fusing alien tech with human architecture. It's a great metaphor for the group itself.
And at the same time, Maya is showing her value. She's the survival expert. Crot might have the plasma cannons and the cloaking device, but Maya knows where to find clean water. She knows the terrain. She knows which mutated plants are edible and which will kill you.
They complement each other's skills perfectly, and this leads to that amazing training montage that's described in the source. Crot is actually teaching the humans how to fight.
Which is, think about that. This is a massive cultural exchange. He's sharing the secrets of the Yautja skills in tracking, in stealth, in combat, that are usually guarded so jealously. He's teaching his prey how to defend themselves.
And Maya, as the source notes, she picks it up incredibly quickly. She has that warrior's heart we talked about. She's a natural.
But the bonding goes deeper than just physical training. The source describes them sharing stories around the fire at night. This is my favorite part of this section.
Me too, because it's where they stop being just allies of convenience and start becoming a pack, a family.
You have the humans sharing their tales of loss, of the world they remember before it all fell apart. And then you have Crot sharing stories of his own. He talks about his clan, about their sacred hunts, their mythology.
He's opening up. He's sharing his culture, the very culture that cast him out.
It creates a bridge of understanding between them. When you share your mythology, you're sharing your values. You're showing someone who you are deep down.
And this all leads to a really critical conversation. Maya, having heard all this, finally asks Crot the million-dollar question. She asks him, what does honor mean to you now?
It's the core theme of the entire story, right there in one column. Has his definition changed after everything he's been through?
And what does he say?
He pivots. He completely redefines it for himself. He says honor is not a title given to you by a clan. It's not about trophies or status. For him now, honor is action.
What kind of action?
Specifically, protecting those who cannot protect themselves.
Wow. That is a massive fundamental evolution for a character who started out as a disgraced killer, totally obsessed with his lost status.
It's a complete 180. He's found a higher purpose. And it's not just him who changes. Maya's motivations evolve too. Remember, she started this story wanting one thing.
Revenge. Vengeance against the corporation that destroyed her community.
She did. But through this connection with Crot and through the responsibility of protecting this small group of survivors, she moves from that singular focus on revenge to fighting for collective survival. She realizes that building a future is more important than avenging the past.
It's the classic found family trope, but it's done on an interspecies level, which makes it so much more compelling. Isolation and a common enemy force them together.
But shared values and mutual respect are what kept them together. And once they solidify as a cohesive unit, their entire strategy changes. They stop playing defense.
They decide it's time to go on the offense.
And that takes us to Section 4, the intelligence war. They're done just hiding in their bunker and reacting to threats. They're going to hunt the hunters.
And they have a specific target in mind.
The apex predator.
Now, up to this point, this creature has been more of a legend, right? A ghost story that scavengers tell around the fire.
Exactly. A myth. But they find concrete intelligence that proves it's real. They discover a dilapidated old observatory on a remote mesa.
The setting choice here is so deliberate. An observatory is a place of looking outward, of seeking knowledge, of trying to understand the universe.
A sanctuary of knowledge. And the source describes it so well, dusting motes dancing in the light, old, faded star maps on the walls. It represents the height of human curiosity, now left in ruins. But inside this ruin, they find something incredible.
Someone else was studying this thing.
Someone was. Pinned to the walls are sketches, charts, notes, a complete profile of the apex predator.
And what do they learn? What makes this thing the apex?
The profile they find is, frankly, terrifying. Sure, it's physically imposing. The sketches show elongated limbs, a powerful muscular form, but its most dangerous attribute isn't its claws or its strength.
It's intelligent.
Highly intelligent. It's not just a brute beast like the behemoth was. The notes describe it as a strategist. It sets traps, it learns from its mistakes, it understands tactics.
So this shifts the entire conflict. It's not a monster movie anymore. It's a chess match against a genius-level opponent.
And you see Crot and Maya looking over these charts and sketches, and they start planning. They treat this like a military operation, not just a hunt.
And this is where you really see the blend of their strengths come to the forefront.
Absolutely. You have Maya's human ingenuity, her ability to analyze data, to see patterns, to think laterally, and you combine that with Crot's centuries of ingrained Yautja hunting experience and instinct.
They're not just going to walk into the woods and hope for the best. They're formulating a specific tactical plan based on the creature's own psychology and recorded behavior.
They're preparing for war.
Which leads us right into Section 5, the first apex encounter. They've done their homework, they have a plan, and now they're tracking this beast into the very heart of the Badlands.
And Crot is in his element here. He's the tracker. He spots and finds broken branches, massive footprints, things a normal human would miss. The tension is just ratcheting up and up. Ambush. But it's not Crot and Maya ambushing the creature, it's the other way around.
The creature was hunting them.
It knew they were coming. The source describes the apex predator appearing with this predatory gleam in its eyes. There's an intelligence there, a recognition. It knows it's not dealing with typical prey.
And the battle that follows is described as a chaotic whirlwind. It's fast, it's brutal, but what's important is how they fight.
Yes. You have to notice the dynamic. It's not Crot doing all the heavy lifting, while Maya and the other humans hide behind a rock.
Right. Maya is right there in the mix. She's using improvised weapons, explosives, traps, things she's crafted. She's a combatant.
And Crot isn't just wading in with brute force. He's using precision strikes, targeting weak points that they identified from the charts in the observatory. They're constantly covering each other, moving as one.
It's the ultimate proof of concept for their alliance. This is what all that training in the bunker was for.
And they win. Well, win might be a strong word. They survive the encounter. They manage to injure the apex predator and drive it back. The significance of this skirmish isn't that they killed it. It's that they proved their combined strategy could actually work.
They proved they could stand against it. They're not just survivors anymore. They've become warriors, a true hunting party.
But the Badlands, they don't let you rest on your laurels. It's not just one boss fight and you're done.
No. Which brings us to Section 6, the Gauntlet. The source material makes it really clear that this was not a one-and-done fight. The world itself seems to be testing them, throwing constant challenges their way. It's a war of attrition.
We get a couple of really specific examples of this. First, there's a scene in a canyon. the canyon ambush.
Right. And the source describes this as an incredibly claustrophobic fight. They're in a narrow gorge, nowhere to run.
And they're attacked by a pack of these sleek, agile beasts. They're smaller than the apex, but they're incredibly fast, and they hunt in numbers.
The imagery here is so strong. Crot and Maya are fighting literally back to back. It's the ultimate visual metaphor for their trust. They are completely surrounded, and they have to rely on each other to cover their blind spots.
It's pure instinct and training at that point. There's no time to think or plan.
And then, just when they get through that and they think they can finally catch their breath, they have the valley encounter.
This one is almost crueler in a way. They found a moment of peace. They're resting in this rocky overhang, and the source even mentions them looking up at the stars. It's a rare, quiet, bonding moment.
A reminder of a universe beyond the dirt and the blood.
And then, of course, that peace is shattered. A massive, matted fur creature just erupts from the underbrush and attacks. There's no warning.
It's just relentless. The world will not give them a break.
It's relentless. But these trials serve a narrative purpose. They're not just random monster of the week encounters. They are designed to hone the group's battle rhythm.
To sharpen them.
Precisely. By the time they get through the canyon and the valley, they're not just a team anymore. They are a single, cohesive military unit. And Maya, in particular, has completed her transformation. She is now fully capable of holding her own in a fight, right alongside a predator.
All of which is necessary preparation. It sets the stage for the big one. Section 7, the ultimate showdown.
This is it. The climax, the final leg of their journey. The source material sets the mood perfectly. The sun is low in that orange sky, casting these long, dramatic shadows. The tension is at its absolute peak.
And a massive apex predator emerges. Now, is this the same one from before, or is this like the boss version?
The source calls it the ultimate test. The implication is that this is the alpha, the biggest, smartest, and deadliest of its kind. And there's this incredible moment where it doesn't just attack, it locks eyes with Crot.
It acknowledges him.
It acknowledges him as a rival, as a worthy opponent. There's a strange kind of respect there. Game recognized game.
And then the fight begins. The source breaks it down into phases. Phase 1 is brute force.
And it fails. Miserably. This creature is simply too strong, too powerful. Crot quickly realizes that if he tries to just outmuscle this thing, he is going to lose. The whole group will be slaughtered.
So they have to switch tactics. They have to use their brains. This brings us to phase 2. Crot spots a tactical opportunity. He yells, "Draw it toward the rocks!"
This is the intelligence coming back into play. It's the lesson from the observatory. They can't win on a flat, open plain. They have to use the terrain to their advantage.
It's a trap.
A desperate one, but yes, it's a trap. They lure the beast into a confined space, a bottleneck in the rocks, where its size becomes a disadvantage, not an advantage.
It can't maneuver properly.
Exactly. And that's phase 3, using the beast's own momentum against it. They dodge, they weave, they force it to charge recklessly until it crashes into the rock wall, momentarily stunned and disoriented.
And in that tiny window of opportunity,
That's when Crot strikes. He delivers the decisive blow, not to its armored head, but to a vulnerable flank that's been exposed.
it's pure teamwork, it's strategy, it's everything they learned, everything they endured, all coming together in that one single, perfectly executed strike.
And the beast falls. The ultimate predator of the Badlands is defeated. The group stands there, exhausted, bloody, but triumphant.
But the real victory isn't the dead monster at their feet, is it? It's the emotional beat for Crot.
That's what it's all about. In that moment, he feels fulfillment, true fulfillment.
Not because he has a new skull for his trophy collection.
No, because he found his purpose again. He saved his pack. He protected his family.
It's a beautiful resolution to his arc. So let's try to wrap all of this up in our conclusion. We have seen a massive, profound transformation in these characters.
Absolutely. Let's look at where they started and where they ended. Crot began this story as a shamed exile, seeking either an honorable death or some kind of redemption through lonely, meaningless violence. He ended it as a leader and a protector.
And Maya, she started as a victim, a scavenger consumed by a need for vengeance against a faceless corporation. She ended as a warrior fighting not for the past, but for a future.
And together they forged a new philosophy, a new understanding of a core concept in their lives: honor.
It's not a mark given to you by a clan.
No, it's not something you're born with or something you can lose because of one mistake. They learned that true honor is a legacy. It's something you create day by day through your actions and through your connections with others.
And what about the future? The Badlands are still dangerous. The corporation is probably still out there.
Of course. The world isn't magically fixed, but the group is no longer just a temporary arrangement. They are a permanent alliance, a pack. The source says they have forged a new legacy. They aren't going to just survive anymore. They are going to start shaping their own world.
It really makes you reconsider the definitions we just take for granted, which I think brings us perfectly to our final provocative thought for the listener.
It does. I really want you, the listener, to consider the definition of the word predator. In this story, the so-called monsters, the behemoth, the apex, they were genetically engineered beasts, yes, but they were acting on instinct. They were basically biological machines doing what they were designed to do.
But the character who is literally called a predator, Crot, he made a different choice. He chose to act on empathy.
So the question to leave you with is this. Does civilization define our humanity? Or is it our ability to protect others, to form bonds, to show mercy in the face of absolute chaos? Is that what truly defined us?
Maybe the most human character in this entire story was the alien who refused to let his friends die.
It's a powerful thought to end on.
It is. If you're out there facing your own Badlands, whatever they may be, just remember, find your pack and always watch each other's backs. Thanks for diving deep with us on this one.
Stay curious, everyone.
We'll see you next time.